You're watching the KOA Morning News on Fox 14.
Right now at 7, Lonnie Walton shares a few tips when it comes to winter skincare.
Also, McDonald County celebrates the completion of its storm shelter project. We'll hear how these storm shelters will impact their communities.
And after a bit of a cooler day today, we do start to warm up for the weekend.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOA Morning News on Fox 14. I'm Elise Noe.
And I'm Lindsay Gaffney, and it is 7 o'clock finally this Thursday morning.
Yes.
It's been a cooler start, but I'm looking forward to a sunnier day. It's still going to be cold,
Yes.
but
the sun does help. It really does.
It really does.
It really, really, really does. That'll be nice. Well, although you might not feel the sun's powerful rays during the cold winter months, that doesn't mean it's not affecting your skin.
KOAM's Lonnie Walton spoke with a dermatologist from U.S. Dermatology in Joplin about how you can better protect your skin during the winter months.
We're actually working in and out of this, in this 5-degree weather that we've been having.
LaDonna Mitchell is the owner of 4th State Greenhouse in Neosho. She, along with her workers, spend countless hours doing outside work no matter the season.
There's a lot of work at pulling weeds, cleaning things out, revamping things, moving irrigation, disabling irrigation.
Mitchell says her hands really know all about hard work.
Get really badly cracked and they'll even start to bleed and whatnot. I mean, it's just really really So I use this rough and tumble. Again, this is from Alchemist Haven.
Dr. Derek Towery is a dermatologist at the U.S. Dermatology Partners in Joplin. He says for workers like Mitchell, skincare is vital during these colder months.
The wind's going to dry them out, the cold air, the very low humidity outside, so they need to use extra moisturizers, wear gloves.
Although it may be important to keep your body clean, taking a hot shower is a no-no.
Hot water really dries the skin out. Using harsh soaps, detergent soaps, fragrance type soaps will dry the skin out as well.
And don't forget about that sunscreen.
Ultraviolet light still coming through. It's not as intense as it is in June and July and August, but it's still out there.
I use a sunscreen. It's like a sunshine smoocher and it's got raspberry seed oil in it. It's natural and it's organic, and that's really important to me.
Mitchell says it's all for what she loves.
A lot of planting still goes on in the winter time, and that's just about educating folks and helping them to have really fruitful gardens for all their seasons.
Reporting in Joplin, I'm Lonnie Walton, KOAM News.
Dr. Towery recommends using sunscreen with an SPF of 30 or higher to protect against skin cancer.
I definitely, it was only in the last couple of years I started really using sunscreen. It's
important.
beneficial. It is important.
And you don't think about it in the winter.
Yeah.
You're like, it's overcast, it's cold. Why would I need to protect my skin? But you need to do it all year round.
Oh, yeah.
It could really help you out in the long run.
I know my mom's always been harping on me about that. She's like, when you're older, you're going to think yourself. So definitely I need to get better about sunscreen.
Oh, me too. I'm right there with you.
Well, temperatures are going to be a bit cooler today, but still we have sunny skies. So we do see getting into the low 20s right now. We've got a wind chill about 15 degrees. So we are starting off a bit cooler, though temperatures today warming up into the 30s, and winds are still going to be in the northwest with gusts up to 15-20 miles per hour. But as we head into the weekend, we are starting to see a bit of a warm up continuing into Friday and Saturday before another little cool down. So today we're seeing a few passing clouds, and temperatures are going to remain pretty cold with light winds. But outside of that, not so bad if you can handle a bit cooler temperatures. Now, it's still about a 10-degree jump from yesterday morning. We were down in the lower to up mid-teens. So today we're starting off about 22 degrees, partly cloudy skies, and then winds pick up, clouds move in, and temperatures only warming up to about 33 degrees. So not a huge warm up today, but through the rest of the weekend, 44 degrees on Friday, so mid-40s across the region, upper 40s on Saturday, and then we're going to be cooling down on Sunday. Now, I'll have more details coming up.
All right, thanks, Lindsay. Well, some drivers in Vernon County, Missouri should look for a detour today. Parts of Route D will be closed from 8 a.m. until 5 p.m. Crews will shut down the road 1 mile west of Stottsbury to replace a damaged pipe. Drivers will still have access to driveways and home entrances, but there will be no traveling through the work zone. And it's been 2 years since the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline has been in operation. Kansas released a report outlining the successes of the lifeline in the state. 988 offers 24/7 access to trained crisis counselors who help people experiencing mental health related distress. The 988 Lifeline in Kansas experienced growth in call volume and infrastructure during year 2. Kansas call centers handled about 25,000 calls last year. Text and chat services saw a more than 45% increase from the previous year. And a local bookstore is helping a VFW raise money to repair a water line. The owner of Always Buying Books, Bob Wolf, is a longtime member of VFW Post 534 in Joplin. The post has had a water leak for about 2 months now, costing hundreds. Now the break has been located, but funding is needed. Wolf is asking for help in raising $1,000 for the VFW.
Has the money, but it takes away from other things we do, like feeding and clothing other veterans. So I decided on my own, the store here has made a donation and challenging other people to help to raise $1,000.
The VFW helps veterans who contact them daily, and Wolf says the cost of these repairs would have taken away from the help the post gives. After nearly 3 years, the final of 6 storm shelters in McDonald County is complete. KOAM's Anthony Saviello attended the ribbon cutting at Anderson Elementary yesterday and spoke with administrators about what this project means for the future of McDonald County.
3, 2, 1.
A ribbon cut and a new storm shelter open in McDonald County.
This has been a long road for our district from the time the ideas came in to the time it came to fruition.
The last of 6 shelters is complete after McDonald County voters passed a $21.5 million bond issue to fund the project.
Our voters here and our people that live here, they believe in our school system and they want to be safe, and I mean it passed pretty good margin when it passed, and it makes you feel good because the people here really do care.
It marks a special day.
It's a day that gives us something to celebrate, but also gives us a sense of security that we may not have had before.
Special enough to host a special guest.
And what I'm seeing here, which I knew I would see, is that there is just such a connection and partnership with the community and the school, the children, the teachers, the principals, and that's when kids win. And so I wanted to come down and say thank you to them for their great work and also to be a part of this great celebration.
In her first trip to McDonald County as Missouri Commissioner of Education, Dr. Carla Esslinger is standing by McDonald County and their investment into school and community safety.
Anytime that you can assure parents that when you send your children to school, they have a safe place to go, anytime, no matter what the weather is, yes. And I would love for every school to have this kind of opportunity, absolutely.
6 shelters now supply safety not just for students, but the surrounding community as well. In McDonald County, Anthony Saviello, KOAM News.
All 6 shelters serve as multi-purpose shelters, meaning they will also be used for classrooms and gymnasiums. And those are our top news stories this half hour. Coming up next, Rafi Andonian is with us this morning to show us how the different generations have handled the issue of poverty. And later, if you feel like your budget is tight after the holiday spending spree, then you might not be surprised to learn that January is Poverty Awareness Month. How we handle the poor has changed across generations, and here to give us a glimpse is celebrity historian Rafi Andonian. Good morning. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good, good, good. So talk to me a little bit about Poverty Awareness Month and just the history behind it.
Well, we think of poverty as kind of a more recent urban thing. I think a lot of times in the rise of poverty, sometimes we're thinking we're in unique times with housing prices and so on and so forth. But these issues existed in different forms in the past. If we go back about 400 years in Elizabethan England, for example, they had poverty issues in London and throughout much of the countryside. And one of the things that they did in order to help combat that was pass certain laws to be able to have local taxes and have local municipalities have to address that, which happened in England, believe it or not. Often they would put a church in charge of administering, but they would take the public funds and then distribute it as such. Now, that came over with the Pilgrims and New Englanders in the colonial period. They did the same thing, having these colonial policies, if you will, putting municipalities in charge. What was interesting is they were afraid that someone may go town to town trying to get, you know, various forms of assistance. So they had certain rules for residents. Now, here's an interesting one that I found fascinating, is sometimes what you would have to do is be placed on a farm in an agrarian society, and in return for being provided housing and basics, you had to work on the farm. And if you were seen as undeserving, then you're going to be put off the program. So that farmer might get paid through the church or through a local municipality in order to be able to support that person that they're taking on. So there are various ways of handling poverty, both with local governments as well as churches combining.
Absolutely.
Now, we think about, you know, later on with the urbanization of the country, it does start to change. And one of the big figures I think about is Andrew Carnegie. Carnegie put out the Gospel of Wealth. We still see versions of it today. You see people like Bill Gates and Warren Buffett talk about these things, by which I mean, talk about someone who's wealthy having a social responsibility, in the opinion of this philosophy, to distribute their wealth in their lifetime. That's one of the things that you see a lot. And Andrew Carnegie believed that and wrote that in the Gospel of Wealth. But what's interesting to kind of contextualize here too is the notion of a worthy poor and an unworthy poor. And that's part of the reason that he supported education so much, because Carnegie himself was an immigrant who came to the United States and made it big as a business person, and he believed that people should have an opportunity to help themselves, which is why he supported the 1,000+ libraries across the United States, including here, the Joplin Carnegie Library, established with the funding that he provided. And that really is important because it provided access to education, information, and other resources. You go to a public library today, you can apply for jobs, you can learn basic skills like Microsoft Word and other things. It's really information hubs beyond books. And what that did is it made accessible that sort of information that was not previously accessible outside of major cities. And that's thanks to Carnegie thinking about poverty. And think about Carnegie's social context. Charles Darwin, his theories of evolution has come out recently. So he thought about it as social Darwinism, which is if you're gonna improve society, if society is gonna evolve, you gotta give the opportunity for the deserving poor, and those who are undeserving, just don't take advantage of those resources. There was this consideration. We still think of that today. You hear rhetoric about deserving and undeserving, what situations in which people should have aid. So these things still remain with us today. Now, the final thing I mentioned, since it was MLK Day recently, is I brought here a bronze medal put out by the United States Mint, and Martin Luther King is on there. And the reason I mention him, since we recently had MLK Day, I used to work at the MLK birth home out in Atlanta. And the reason he matters here too is we think of him as with political civil rights, but if you look at the March on Washington 1963, I Have a Dream speech, when you look at the signs that people are carrying, it says March on Washington for freedom and jobs. And so the economy and thinking about poverty was a part of this. And if you think about where MLK was killed in Memphis, he was marching with sanitation workers in Memphis. So there was always a poverty element to his vision as well.
Absolutely.
So it's change across generations tied in with different themes from the colonial period to the social Darwinist period to Martin Luther King, and you still see some of that notion today with our notions of philanthropy.
Fascinating. Well, Rafi, as always, thank you so much for being with us this morning. Happy to have you. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Well, taking a look downtown Pittsburgh, you can see we've got a nice little sunrise going on out there and some partly cloudy skies, but overall today and for the rest of the week, it's going to be pretty dry. Now, we do have a few clouds moving through this afternoon. You can see them starting to push in, but outside of that, we go on a nice warming trend over the next couple of days. That's our big weather event that's going to be happening as we head through the weekend and into early next week. Is pretty much just a warmer temperatures. They're going to be above average for most of the weekend and week. Temperatures tomorrow, mid 40s, and normally we should be seeing temperatures low 40s, upper 30s this time of year. So tomorrow, mid 40s, and Saturday, upper 40s. Sunday, we're right back down to average, but we go quick into another warm-up Monday and Tuesday. So taking a look, winds, gusting out of the northwest by this afternoon, 15, 20 miles per hour. They die down pretty quickly, but we do have a wind shift line coming in where winds are out of the south as we head into Friday morning, and then winds pick up. Friday morning through early afternoon, we're going to see winds gusting 20, 25 miles per hour. But by the evening, we're going to see winds strengthening with gusts up to 40 miles per hour. This is about 8:30 p.m. Winds out of the south, so we definitely have that warm up. But we do have a winds dying down along a cold front coming through Saturday morning and into early afternoon. So taking a look at our upper level flow and what this means for us, we've got this little trough shifting off to the west. That's a result of what our cooler temperatures are today. And then we have a few clouds moving in, but overall mostly sunny skies as a ridge moves into the area. So this is Friday afternoon. Again, mostly sunny skies, this nice little ridge. The only thing that's really changing in our upper level flow atmosphere this weekend is we see this low pressure system pull further southwest and cut off. That means with a cut off low, it's just going to sit there. Nothing's driving it. So it's just going to sit out there in the west over California, and we stay in this slight ridge through midweek next week. That means we're going to continue with that warm up. So today, temperatures reaching mid to lower 30s. Really not seeing a nice warm day today, but some areas are going to be above freezing. Now, winds shift tomorrow morning out of the south, but as a result of our cooler temperatures today, we are still seeing a drop in temperatures through Friday morning, so temperatures start off in the teens. Now, with those southerly winds, we're warming up mid-40s on Friday. Overnight lows really dropping down to right about freezing. So what our highs are today, or what our lows are going to be Saturday morning, and then our highs for the day reaching upper 40s, even low 50s with that front moving through. So we're going to see that drop in temperatures as we head into Sunday, but we go back up into warming Monday, Tuesday, and even Wednesday before another front moves in, or we might see a few rain showers. This is going to be Wednesday. It passes, and then heading into Friday, another chance of light scattered showers, plus maybe a little bit of a snow flurry. Though we're not too concerned about that, not going to expect a lot of accumulation or really much going on with those rain chances, but we are going to see those warmer temperatures. So today, mid-30s, mid-40s on Friday, upper 40 Saturday, and then we're cooling down Sunday, but we're back into those warmings all the way until 60 degrees on Wednesday. So we've got something to look forward to, some warmer temperatures there, but that's a look at your forecast, and we'll be back with more after this. Well, for those with limited mobility, visiting the sunken garden at the Como Zoo and Conservatory is often impossible.
But now a solution. Jason Rentala shows us the more than $700,000 redesign.
It's a lush indoor escape during an often frigid Minnesota winter.
Here in Minnesota, we were so lucky to have a space like this where you can come in and you can hear the water flowing, and you can smell the flowers.
For more than 100 years, the sunken garden at Como Park Zoo and Conservatory has been a literal hotspot for many, unless you travel by wheel.
Some don't even notice the change. It's so seamless.
It's a change that came Sunday when the new stone wheelchair ramps opened after a month and a half of work.
It is utmost important that we are welcoming for everyone, no matter what their means and methods of getting there.
For people like Cheryl Royce, a regular visitor from St. Francis,
oh gosh, it's wonderful.
There's no longer a barrier to entry.
I think that it's life-changing for my mom, for sure.
Before the ramp, there was actually an elevator that got people to the sunken garden, but there are some issues.
High humidity caused the elevators to break down regularly. Cheryl can attest.
It went poorly.
Como officials say feedback has been overwhelmingly positive. For Cheryl, it's $760,000 well spent.
This is one of her favorite places to come, so being able to come and just wheel down the ramp has been really, really nice.
Well, I think that's amazing.
Yeah, it's incredible. It's incredible to see, people taking action to make places more accessible to others, and they really enjoy it too. I mean, just hearing that lady talk about how much she likes to go and it's so beautiful there. It was so beautiful.
That's going to go on my bucket list of places to visit.
I've been there. You've got to go.
You have?
Yeah, you've got to go.
I definitely am going to now.
Well, coming up, new fires are sparking another round of mass evacuations in Los Angeles. We'll have the latest from California.
And we're looking forward to a nice but chilly day today. However, we've got a warm up in the forecast this weekend.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. It's currently 7:29. I'm Elise Noe. Freeman Health Systems announced yesterday it's holding a job fair. The announcement comes ahead of the opening of the new Freeman Fort Scott Hospital. The healthcare provider says the event will provide an opportunity for Freeman to recruit applicants for various job opportunities. It'll feature more than 60 openings for the new hospital and will cover everything from RN to tech positions. It'll be on Tuesday, February 11th from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. For more information, you can go to our website, KOAMNewsNow.com. Well, Joplin's East Middle School has earned Missouri's Purple Star distinction. The state's education department awards it to schools that support military families. East Middle started working toward this distinction earlier this year. Staff offers extra support in students and military families to help them succeed during their time at the school. And like many, the Nevada School District is looking for teachers. In fact, the district currently has 9 open positions. Last night, Nevada hosted a teacher recruitment event at the board office. Now it's a chance for prospective teachers to learn more about the district's vision, goals, programs, and expectations, opportunities, benefits, and hear from teachers who've decided to call Nevada home.
School districts across the state and across the nation are in a massive shortage right now. So for me, it's a privilege to be able to show these new teachers what their career could look like and how rewarding it can be.
You're 18. This is the second year Nevada schools have hosted a teacher recruitment event. And the heat is on at this year's Battle of the Badges as the Pittsburgh Police and Fire Departments face off in a chili cook-off. Now, it's all a fun effort to benefit the American Red Cross. Now, folks were invited out yesterday and are again today to get a bowl, vote for their favorite, and donate some life-saving blood. It's a donation that one Pittsburgh police sergeant says can be crucial.
As important as donation is, being able to consistently donate is almost more important than the initial donation, because blood does have an expiration date. So if you don't do it, regularly, then a donation that you did do might have expired, and someone might need that.
The event heats back up again today from 8:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. Now let's head over to Lindsay for a quick look at the forecast.
Well, temperatures today starting off again in the lower 20s, but it feels like 15 degrees out there because we've got a light northwesterly breeze, though you can see that sunrise is really pretty, plus a few clouds moving in and winds picking up. So this morning, winds are gusting about 25-30 miles per hour, especially in the northern counties. In central and southern counties, not so bad, but we are going to see winds picking up later tonight and through tomorrow, along with these clouds moving through. So clouds are going to continue to move through. We're going to have partly to mostly cloudy skies today, especially later in the evening. Now, again, we're starting off 22-23 degrees with those partly cloudy skies. Now, winds pick up this evening. Clouds move in, so we're having mostly cloudy skies towards the afternoon and evening, with temperatures really only warming up to the lower 30s. So we're going to be right around freezing today and into the afternoon. Now, temperatures dropping quickly back into the teens by about 10 p.m. tonight, but we warm up. Although with a cold start on Friday, we're getting into the mid 40s. Upper 40s on Saturday, another cooler day on Sunday, back into the low 40s, but we are warming right back up as we head into Monday and Tuesday, plus rain chances, and we might see kicking off on Wednesday. Not expecting a lot going on with the rain coming up next week, but we are excited for the warmer temperatures, and I'll have a full forecast coming up.
All right, we'll see you soon, Lindsay. Thanks. Well, thousands of firefighters rushing to battle a new inferno that's erupted in northern Los Angeles County. This as crews press on with their wars against the ongoing blazes in the southern portion of the region. Fox News' Ted Lindner has the latest on the Hughes fire.
This is a new start in a completely separate section.
Nightmare fire conditions persisting across Los Angeles County, with a new blaze breaking out Wednesday near Castaic Lake, about 40 miles north of the existing Palisades and Eaton fires.
Mandatory evacuation order is in effect.
The fast-moving Hughes fire triggering evacuation orders or warnings for more than 50,000 people as of Wednesday.
Ashes are falling everywhere. My neighbors, they got the sprinklers going on. We water down the house.
want to make sure the family's good right now.
While some quickly fled, others, armed with hoses, stuck around as flames could be seen in the distance. Owners spraying down their properties and surrounding area to try to keep embers from landing on anything dry.
I'm going to stay. I'm not going nowhere.
Okay, just be
This is
careful.
all I got. When the flames come over here, I'll get out of here.
This as firefighters carried out an assault from the air and land. Crafts unleashed water from above. Bulldozers and ground teams racing ahead to bolster fire lines. A desperate attempt to prevent the flames from advancing.
Let's start cutting line this way.
But containing the flames is proving challenging because bone-dry drought conditions are combining with strong winds.
The weather is what's predominantly driving this fire, and it's spread right now.
And relief may not be close at hand.
The National Weather Service has extended the red flag warning through 10 a.m. on Friday for most of Los Angeles and Ventura counties.
Ted Lindner, Fox News.
That's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. An Iowa designer is given a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to leave her mark on the presidential inauguration. In Consumer Watch this morning, more consumers are turning to minimum payments on their credit cards as delinquency rates continue to rise. The Philadelphia Federal Reserve reports people only making baseline payments reached a 12-year high in the third quarter of last year. The report also shows delinquency rates rose to 3.52% in the same time period. But Goldman Sachs reports there are still signs of a strengthening economy as consumer spending jumped 2.9% in November compared to the previous year. The price of eggs rises once again, and customers can blame the recent bird flu outbreak. Egg prices are up 36.8% from last year. A major reason for the price hike is the increase in bird flu cases. According to the USDA, the viral disease was responsible for killing more than 20 million egg-laying hens in the final quarter of 2024. Farms are now required to cull all birds in an infected flock. Some consumers experts say new cage-free laws like those in place in Michigan could also be contributing to higher prices. And Sean Diddy Combs sues a news agency and a grand jury witness for defamation. The lawsuit claims Courtney Burgess repeatedly spread false information that he had video of Combs participating in the sexual assault of minors and celebrities. Combs' legal team says the videos do not actually exist. The lawsuit also includes News Nation's parent company, Nexstar Media, alleging the network prompted Burgess claims on air. The lawsuit seeks $50 million in damages, and Combs is set to go on trial starting May 5th. He has pleaded not guilty. Well, tech experts say President Trump's embrace of AI could be a game changer, but there are lingering concerns over a lack of rules and regulations. Fox News national correspondent Griff Jenkins has more from Washington.
President Trump is going all in on AI. On Tuesday, he announced a new partnership between OpenAI, SoftBank, and Oracle, who will invest a combined $500 billion in AI data centers throughout the country. The project is called Stargate, and President Trump says it's the first step towards enacting his America First tech agenda.
What we want to do is we want to keep it in this country. China is a competitor and others are competitors. We want it to be in this country, and we're making it available.
It came just a few hours after Trump rolled back former President Biden's executive orders on AI, which were aimed at making the technology safer for consumers and national security. And experts say we're likely to see more regulations cut as the White House tries to accelerate technological innovation.
Some would argue that we need a whole lot more rules and regulations, but it's clearly not the way that the people, including Elon Musk, who are around President Trump, now see it.
President Trump's moves on AI are the hot topic this week at the World Economic Forum in Switzerland. Industry leaders are pushing back on the idea of consolidating AI development in American hands, saying they don't want this new industrial revolution controlled by the Stargate investors.
There is no way we're going to let this technology just develop, being concentrated, and the value being concentrated in the hands of a few actors.
President Trump is expected to address the World Economic Forum remotely on Thursday. In Washington, Griff Jenkins, Fox News.
And those are our top consumer stories. Let's take a look at the market prices before the opening bell.
Well, we've got a nice little sunrise going on downtown Pittsburgh with a few clouds moving in, but overall it's going to be a pretty nice day today, although chilly. So clouds are pushing in following our low pressure system that's now moving off to the east, and then we're into a ridge for the weekend where we're going to see a nice little warm up. So temperatures today only reaching the lower 30s, but tomorrow mid 40s. So we're going to have about a 10-degree jump, and then upper 40s for our high on Saturday. Outside of that, winds pick up a little bit today, gusting 15 to maybe 20 miles per hour through this afternoon. They die down pretty quickly following a warm front moving through, so winds out of the south as we head into Friday morning. So it's about 3 a.m. Light winds at first, however, winds pick up 20 to 25 miles per hour through the early afternoon, and then strengthening through the evening. We're going to see winds gusting up to 40 miles per hour by Friday evening. So if you plan on a night out on the town, it is going to be a bit warmer, so it's not going to feel so bad, but it's going to be windy, so we might still see a bit of a wind chill. Now, winds die down following a cold front that's going to be moving in Saturday afternoon. You can see about 4:30 p.m. that cold front's already pushing through our central counties, bringing some clouds as well, though little chance of rain. So it's going to be mostly dry. Taking a look at our upper level flow, we've got that low pressure system off to the east. We go into this nice little ridge warm up. Sunny skies, mostly sunny, though we're going to see a few passing clouds, but overall, not so bad. Now, the reason we're just consistently in this warm-up is because we have this little pattern where we're not in a trough, we're still in this ridge, but it's a very wide ridge because of a low-pressure system that cuts off out in the west, and with a cutoff low, it doesn't move. Nothing's driving it, so it's just going to sit there over California until midweek this week, where we're going to start to see that drive pushing it towards us, bringing some rain chances. So until then, temperatures are going to be in the 30s today with that northwesterly breeze. Winds shift as we head into Friday morning, though not fast enough to warm our temperatures for Friday morning. So we're starting off still pretty cold in the lower to mid-teens Friday morning, though because of those warmer winds out of the south, we are going to see temperatures getting into the mid-40s. So about average, slightly above average on Friday, and then our overnight lows are going to be in the lower 30s. So what we're seeing for our highs today is what we're going to see for our lows Saturday morning, and then that wind shift line comes through, though not in time to cool us down. So our temperatures on Saturday are still going to be pretty warm in the upper 40s, the low 50s. Though because of that wind shift line, we are going to have a bit of a cooler day on Sunday. Back up to warming Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday with another front moving through on Wednesday. That is going to potentially bring a few of these scattered showers Wednesday, and then pushing into Thursday, and even by Friday, you might see some more scattered shower chances, maybe even a little bit of a wintry mix. Though we're not expecting a severe threat with any of that. No strong storms, no heavy amount of snow, but we could see a little flurries, little scattered showers. So until then, outside of our cool day today, some cloudy days, but temperatures are consistently warming up all the way to 50s and 60s by midweek next week. So we're looking forward to that. Now that's a look at your forecast. We'll be right back.
Well, it's not every day you're allowed to take part in an important event, even more rare if that event is a presidential inauguration.
Nick Outhoff shares how, for one designer, this was a once-in-a-lifetime experience.
One local South Bend designer had the opportunity to create outfits for the new second family in yesterday's inauguration.
Excited. It's always fun to see the fruits of your hard work.
Mary Grace Godfrey's passion is exhibited through each piece of clothing she designs. In yesterday's presidential inauguration, Vice President J.D. Vance's children wore outfits designed by Godfrey. Around Thanksgiving, Godfrey received a voicemail asking for outfits to be made for Vance's 3 children.
He said that Usha requested that her kids wear Ana Gracia, and she had purchased from me in the past. So I got off the phone. I was very excited. I to make sure it was I wasn't catfish, I had checked my records, and Usha did purchase from me.
After having Usha Vance's design approval, Godfrey got to work right away. Planning for the inauguration to be outdoors, Usha wanted the children to be dressed warmer. Brothers Erwin and Vivek each wore a double-breasted navy wool jacket, and sister Maribel wore a double-breasted wool cape to match her brothers. Godfrey says it was an honor and a privilege to create outfits for such a special occasion.
So honored that Usha chose Ana Gracia for kids, and it was easy to dress them because they were excellent to collaborate with, and the kids are very cute. So I could have put anything on them and they would have, stolen the show.
Godfrey also says designing clothes turned from a passion project to a career. Operating an online shop, she views each order as a custom design for each customer. Moving forward, Godfrey wants to teach others about her passion in designing clothes.
I have my own design and taste, but people come to me with things that they need. So I'm kind of like, my brand grows with what my customers need and want.
Godfrey says it would be tough to top an experience of designing clothes for such a high-profile event.
It's pretty cool.
Oh yeah. I mean, I wish I was that talented. I mean, it looked amazing what they wore. So
yeah,
it's awesome.
Incredible. Great to see.
You know, it's not great to see the cooler day today, unfortunately.
Yeah.
We do have a warm up, so I'm looking forward to that. But today is going to be pretty chilly. We're still just kind of sitting right around freezing, though we're starting off the morning in the 20s. So you can see it's going to be about 23 degrees right now outside with a bit of a wind chill. About 15 degrees is what it feels like. Although you can see sunny skies, so we're starting off not too bad, although chilly. Winds gusting out of the northwest about 15-20 miles per hour through the rest of the evening, and a few clouds pushing through as well. Now, clouds increase through this evening, and we're going to see a bit of a cloudier day and windier day tomorrow. That we're starting off chilly. Today, our highs only getting to right about freezing, 32, 33 degrees. Again, mostly cloudy skies and winds picking up. But like I said, we've got a temperature jump, about 10 degrees tomorrow. So a warm up, 44 degrees on Friday, upper 40s on Saturday. That warm up continues through next week. And we'll be right back.
And here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. Authorities cut the ribbon on the final shelter yesterday afternoon at Anderson Elementary in McDonald County. The multi-purpose shelter will not only serve Anderson Elementary, but also the surrounding community. The storm shelters were part of a $21.5 million bond issue passed by McDonald County voters in April 2022. Well, Nevada hosted a teacher recruitment event at the board office in hopes of filling several open positions. It's a chance for prospective teachers to learn about the district's vision and goals, programs and expectations, opportunities, benefits, and hear from teachers who've decided to call Nevada home. This is the second year Nevada schools have hosted a teacher recruitment event. And some drivers in Vernon County, Missouri should look for a detour today. Part of Route D will be closed from 8 a.m. until 5 p.m. Crews will shut down the road 1 mile west of Stottsbury to replace a damaged pipe. Drivers will still have access to driveways and home entrances, but there will be no traveling through the work zone.
And we do have a warm up in the forecast. So today temperatures are reaching upper 20s, low 30s. Getting into the about freezing 32, 33 degrees in our central and southern counties. And tomorrow, about a 10-degree jump in temperatures, mid 40s for our high on Friday, though we're starting off a bit cooler, and even warmer on Saturday, upper 40s, even reaching about 50 degrees in some areas. So it's going to be a really nice couple of days, a cooler Sunday, but we're right back into the warming trend Monday, Tuesday, and even into Wednesday. So outside of today being so cold, we do have a warmer few days in the forecast.
That'll be great. Great. A historic storm in New Orleans turned streets into hockey rinks. Jay Krupp, a retired professional hockey player, was spotted on the icy streets on Tuesday with his skates, a stick, and a puck.
The impromptu hockey rink follows the New Orleans rare blizzard, which broke the original one-day snow total record of 2.7 inches in 1963. Parts of the city recorded 9.5 inches of snow by Tuesday evening. So they you're not used to that much.
But they're making the best of it. I mean, that's a once in a lifetime opportunity down there.
Yes, I would love to do something like that. I've learned though out here roads get cleared pretty quickly from the ice and snow.
They certainly do.
I don't know if we get that chance.
Which is good.
Yeah, it is good. Well, thank you so much for letting us put the good in your morning. We'll be back with more news and weather at noon.
Have a great rest of your morning.